Hey everybody, I think I lost the plot a little the other day when I was getting so excited about RFK Jr. running for president. I still, I don't regret what I said, but at the same time, I think it needs to be put into a larger perspective, and that is the system is a joke. It's worse than a joke. It's a sick joke. It's it's a joke if the punchline is mass murder and terror and horror and rape and child child sacrifice and whatever else. If that's the punchline that you enjoy, if that's the kind of punchline that you enjoy, then that's the kind of joke that our system is, and that includes elections, the sham of elections, the sham of voting. This is something I'm going to keep hitting on. This is something I'm not going to refrain from talking about. So no, RFK Jr. is not the answer. But it was really good. It was really refreshing to hear somebody who I think sincerely is a good guy. My impression of him, anyway. There's no way of knowing for sure, but I think he seems to be a man of principle. And to hear him talk about things like the disaster and the farce and the atrocity that was the last 3 years, as well as what the hell are we doing in Ukraine, to hear somebody actually talk about those kinds of things, and moreover, somebody who was a Kennedy and a Democrat, albeit, maybe the black sheep of the Kennedy family and the black sheep of the Democrats, but still, it briefly, gave me this high. It brought my hopes up, or got my hopes up. But even while I was feeling enraptured, I was still, there was a sober part of me that was thinking, this is not the answer. This is, you're being lulled into thinking that the system can work, and that all we need is to vote in the right guy. And that's not gonna, that's, we're way too far gone for that. Again, let me reiterate something I've said before, something that I believe is important to keep in mind, and that is that those who are currently running the show, the rascals, the monsters, the demons, the the powers that shouldn't be, call them what you will, the reptilians, they get off on, the whole question, how do you get off? Well, they get off on knowing that they've got supposedly the consent of the governed meaning, the tyrannized, those whom they rule over. How do they feel that they have this kind of consent? It's because we see things, they do things that are obviously wrong and that obviously don't make any sense, where the stories, their cover stories, don't make any sense, and then they're not called on it, and people just buy it. Oh yeah, sure, a passport fell out of the plane that exploded and was found by the FBI, and that's how we know that terrorists hijacked those flights, etc. That's just one example. The magic bullet, went through Kennedy's neck and then went through his wrist and then took a double turn and went through his ear and then hit Jennifer Connelly. Jennifer Connelly was there. Governor Connelly was then hit Governor Connelly in his 10-gallon hat and then hit him in the crotch and then took a right hand turn and I don't know, did a somersault and then was found on the street in pristine condition. Right. That's another example of what I'm talking about. I mean, those are just the most common examples. Those are the ones that you don't have to dig too deep to find those. But they sell those off. They pawn those off as these are plausible stories, and people don't question them, or people just say, okay, I guess that must be true. Sounds kind of strange to me, but I guess you guys must know more. You're the experts. You must know more than I do. You know, this illness, this so-called virus that has a 90.7 plus survivability rate. Yeah, that's worth shutting down the entire world and making people bankrupt and destroying people's lives. That's totally worth shutting down the world over. Boy, we all should be afraid of this thing and wear things over our faces all the time, and get unknown substances shot into our bodies, where the container even says nothing. That says nothing about what's actually in that crap. It says something like deliberately left unlabeled, or I can't remember what the exact wording was, but I mean it's there. You can look for it. So again, the only way out of all of this is to signal that we do not consent, that we are not down with all of this, that we know what they're doing, and we know that they're fraudsters, and we know that they're liars, and we're not down for it. And there are ways to do that. As I've said before, there are different ways to do that. You don't have to choose the way that puts your life in danger. You don't have to choose the way that if you have families, if you have children that you have to raise, if you have a real reason why you have to be around, people rely on you, and you can't just it would be kind of selfish for you to choose the route that potentially leads to them killing you, or putting you into supermax or whatever. There are ways to just signal no, we're not down for this. I know who you guys are. I know what you guys are doing, and I'm not down for it. So, RFK Jr. Was a nice distraction for me for a moment or two. But even while I was being distracted, I knew, and I still know, and I've always known, or I've known for a while. Haven't always known, but I've known for a while that there is no way that this all gets fixed by conventional means. There's no way that this gets fixed by voting in the right guy. No matter who you elect, the government still is in control, right? As the saying goes. So the only way to win is not to play. And you have to find a way to manifest that, to show that to the universe. They can see you. Believe me, they can see you. They know, because we're not dealing with just flesh and blood. We're dealing with powers, principalities, thrones, and dominions. So they know when you're saying nope. I know what the hell's going on, and it's a big no, big hard no, big fat hard no from me. So how you signal it is up to you, but that's what you got to do. You got to say, I'm onto you, and I'm not. This is not okay. I'm not down for this. I do not consent. And find a way to let that reverberate again in your own way, whatever works for you, whatever's practical for you, because God knows, that you have responsibilities. If you do have responsibilities, you've got to I mean, it all depends. There are some who give it all, some who choose to give it all and to become martyred. But we can't all be martyrs, you know. So it just all depends. Sorry to be so vague about it, but I'm just aware that it does depend, and I'm not so fixed in my perspective. I'm not just like I'm not one of the. I wasn't somebody who said if you always you know unless you just never wore a mask ever. You're not. You're just a pawn. You're just you're just kneeling before the system. You know, there are things that you have to do at certain times, and it's up to you to navigate all that. But in the long run, what's important is that you've got to be able to let them know that you are not down for all of this, one way or another. I guess one way of doing it is having having a YouTube channel. It may not be watched by that many people, but still putting it out there to in a way that that is noticeable, right? Anybody who wants to can watch this. I'm not just saying these things in secret. I've never been secretive about any of this stuff. So find what works for you and do it, and then you are free. You are absolved. You are not. You are not. What's the word? You are not culpable. You are not making yourself a part of all of this. If again, a metaphor is seeing. If you see something happen to somebody, if you see some innocent person getting attacked and you don't do anything about it, then you're culpable in it. Even if you didn't do the attack, even if you didn't, even if you don't approve of it, even if you think it was awful, if you just saw it happen and you didn't do anything to try to stop it, then you are culpable. Same principle applies here. You got to do something, okay? But what that is between you and God. That's for you you to figure out, okay? So those are my thoughts of the day. Kind of all over the place, but what do you know? That's just the way things are sometimes. Leave your thoughts below if you care to. Thanks for watching.